Yeah, it's fun. Or wait, I was gonna say this is round four, but I feel like yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Did I do Mars Metro Parkers? I must have done that one wrong. My bad. New Jersey Motorsports Park. Track location, New Jersey. Who would have fucking thought? Bet date. 24th in the year of our Lord, 2026. Qualifying 10 minutes. I don't know what the track length is. New Jersey Motorsports Pack. Pack. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome here to the fifth round of the championship. We're coming over fourth as the series swiftly draws on to a close here for New Jersey Motorsport Park Round 5 of the 6-race calendar here. A big trip back over to the Atlantic before our finale over at California, and this will be the last time that we'll cover the FRL series as well. I'm Amir Oates, and joined alongside me once again is Lorenzo Edrovich-Vucic. Good afternoon, Lorenzo. How are you?
An odd track, one I've not heard of before and one I've not seen before. Very odd looking track map, one must say, and there seems to be quite a lot of elevation, and there's also seem to be one long straight, but a lot of winding corners, so it'll be interesting to see how the drivers fare with overtaking and whatnot, but only 8 people here today, which isn't the biggest attendance, but also isn't the lowest, I think. So yeah, again, not many people, but hopefully that doesn't mean we don't have good racing.
Well, the longest track in the country, actually 3.621 kilometers, or around about 2 3/4 of a mile, here at the New Jersey Motorsport Park. Very flowy track, really. Apart from the quite technical as well. The two final corners will propose a bit of a challenge for the drivers, and of course makes it all the more exciting here. Qualifying just recently come to an end, and it's this time it's in a different driver that prevailed. It's Sergei Sorotka that set the fastest time during qualifying with a 106.5 and just about edged David Michalkiewicz to the line by about 0.04 of a second, as he still holds on through to a front row record in his FRL classic touring car, or touring car classic careers thus far. Dave Goodway again still donning his new manufacturer in third, with Alan Palmer swiftly behind in fourth. Marcin Morrow completes our through to an old Volvo 1, 4, and 5. Then outside that, it's Dobrotnik in sixth, with Tom Brunel returning in seventh for the Honda, and it's Struhal in eighth in the Mondeo. So an 8-car grid. I think it's the lowest that we've seen so far, but still going to be very interesting to see who will come out on top in the respective 3 races. But Sergei Soroka, I must say, really has shown for his element here, Lorenzo.
Absolutely, and I mean the gap between Michalkiewicz and Soroka during qualifying wasn't big, and it wasn't big during practice either. I think through practice and qualifying they were within a tenth of one another the entire time, and in the end Soroka prevailed ever so slightly in both cases. It will be just interesting to see if he does that in the races as well, and seeing as there's 3 races, how many times he does that. But again, I do think with the absence of Antonis Paparinopoulos here today, it will be Soroka and Michalkiewicz, the 2 most likely candidates for the wins today. Although Dave Goodway did win last time around in Mills Metro Park, and he was within half a second of the aforementioned pairing, so I do think he will be in contention for a podium as well at the very least. Marcin Morel, who I personally think is the best driver on the grid currently to have not won a race this season yet. A bit further behind, but I still think he's in a very good shot of winning today, especially if some sort of misfortune befalls the trio in front of him. And as for the rest, I mean, I think that subjectively speaking here, they don't have that big of a chance of winning as the other 4 drivers mentioned, but they were all very close to one another in qualifying. I think the gap between 4th and 7th was all within 4/10ths, so obviously the grid is going to be very, very close together through the race, and hopefully that results in some good fighting as well. As there's,
Yeah,
yep,
you're
there
right.
we go.
Yeah, you're right.
17.7 by Alan Palmer for 4th, and then in 6th place it was Artur Drobnik with a 108.1, so that's 4/10ths between them, and then Tom Brunel a bit further behind on a 108.4, so that's 7 tenths between 4th and 7th, but again you can see Martin Morrill surprisingly behind Alan Palmer in qualifying, but again only 9 thousandths behind him. So I think Alan Palmer, this could be a better track for him than the other ones have been so far, and maybe he can have a word in winning as well today.
Oh, I
I think that was Artur Drobnik who just spun, and that's Carl Struhal in the grass.
So
Not anymore.
I saw someone die, so I did kind of hear that. So yeah, deaf all around in
Death
New
all
Jersey.
around. That is a lovely livery that Tom Brunel is sporting, as it causes the game to switch into the race.
Switchity roo. We wait for the grid to slowly form, and with that, we can swiftly go over through to the starting order of today's race with the swift animation. Sergei Sorotka holds on through to pole position with Michał Kevich completing over through the front row. Dave Goodway in third. Alan Palmer will be alongside him in fourth. And the 9,000s between Palmer and Morrill. So Morrill in fifth, Dubrovnik in sixth. And it is Tom Brunel in seventh with Kostruha completing over through to the 8-car field that we have for today. I don't think there is any more entrances coming. As you said, quite a bit of names missing, but it will allow for a lot of people to get their opportunity at their hand at their big break and their first win. Morrill, who's in fifth, definitely will keep an eye out for him. I think Dubrovnik and Palmer could do it as well, so that's completely in the case here as they wait for the lights to come out here.
Where are the lights?
I think it's
Doesn't
just
matter,
flag.
the flag drops anyway.
Yep, flag drops, we're on the way. Who's going to have a good start here? Sergei Sorotka is going to be leading over through. That is Palmer making his way past Michał Kevich down to turn one. And there's a spin already coming over from the background. That is Struhal, it is. At the exit of turn one. And they're all going to go side by side. That is Dubrovnik going wide.
Dubrovnik goes wide.
And still keeps on fourth. Still, Soroka leads through Palmer. Then it's Goodway. Michał Kevich drops 2 places as part of a sector. And he's got sideways through once again. Under pressure from Moore. Has got bad to the worst. Brunel spins off in the background as well. Absolutely incredible scenes here, Lorenzo.
That was Brunel's second going off wide into the grass in 3 turns. So Brunel seems to be struggling at the start here. Possibly cold tyres still for him.
Oh,
but it seems to have been a fairly peaceful start other than those excursions off the track, as I think that was David Michalkiewicz. No, that's Alan Palmer going in front of Sergei Soroka for the lead. So Alan Palmer, who I said a couple of minutes ago could be in for a surprise shot here winning, as this seems to be one of his strongest tracks to date in this season. He's gone into the lead, but I don't think he'll be keeping it for long, as Sergei Soroka very easily takes the inside line through turn one there and takes the lead back from Alan Palmer, but Alan Palmer is still there and he retakes back the lead. So the Englishman is fighting with the Ukrainian here very hard for the lead, and this seems to be the main battle here for the first race as it stands, as Dave Goodway seems to be holding up the Polish pairing of Marcin Morrill and David Michalkiewicz in 54th respectively. And the rest of the field seems to have dropped off slightly as Michalkiewicz and Morrill are banging doors now, while Morrill tries to get past Michalkiewicz, but Michalkiewicz defends well, although that was a very late braking and he nearly took Goodway with him, and that allowed Goodway to break away ever so slightly from the Polish pairing, who are now side by side going into this long right-hander, and they'll be hoping that there's no contact in between them. It's slightly banked this stern, so it does help to carry some speed, but it does look like Morrill is the one who carried more speed and came out in front of Michalkiewicz here.
Yep, just slightly lifts off the gas so it can take advantage of the strip stream. Morrill later on the brakes though, is it going to be a bit too much? We'll see on the exit from turn one. Rides the curb, but it's so elevated that it gets a bit sideways, a little bit. Commitment through though, sideways but saves it, my goodness me. Michał Kevich manages to hold on through to take through fourth. He's very slidey though, seems to be the most unstable that we've seen from the Polish driver, I think.
I think we've seen quite a lot of drivers struggle with car control, especially with the rears. I think this track is just not good enough seemingly to warm up your tyres. which I feel like could be resulting in this. But I must say that was a very nice move by Michalkiewicz on Morrow through turn 1. That is a very not Salzburg ring, sorry, A1 ring or Red Bull ring, however you like. Very reminiscent of that turn 1 is the turn 1 here. Just tighter obviously. And it will be interesting to see if Sergei Sorokin here can take it well enough to try and make a move on Alan Palmer leading into this lap, or will it be close enough with the slipstream here to try and make a move before that? No, yes, maybe, no, not quite. He pulls out of it at the last moment, and I think that was a better idea to do, as I think that could have resulted in a very, very bad crash, although that did allow Dave Goodway to now catch up to the pairing in front, and David Michalkiewicz is there as well. So there's currently a four-way battle for the lead, as Michalkiewicz taps Goodway on the rear slightly, but they both manage to save their car.
Soroka still over the back of Palmer for the battle for the lead, and Goodway is going to be under pressure from Michalkiewicz, but still applying the pressure. And Soroka, Palmer goes a bit too wide. Is this the moment that Soroka has been looking for? He makes the overtake to retake the lead here with 15 minutes and 40 to go. Palmer is gone off. He might have to try his best to defend from Goodway and Michalkiewicz though. But Goodway on the attempt to make the overtaking, Kazuch's the door, Michalkiewicz, and he spins round, and Michalkiewicz goes round as well. They all go off.
Over the hill. Over the hill they've gone, both of them, and Michalkiewicz rejoins before Goodway does, and Brunel, you can see him flashing his lights. He doesn't seem to be happy with that, and Michalkiewicz is going to be overtaken by Tom Brunel there into turn 1, Brunel taking the outside line, but that just seemed fairly nonsensical from my point of view by David Michalkiewicz. Unnecessary contact through the right-hander, and then I don't know whether he was moving over to the left or whether Goodway was moving over to the right, but that has just ruined both of their chances for a potential win here. Sergei Soroka now has peeled away quite a lot from Alan Palmer, and that's Michalkiewicz trying to force his way by Tom Brunel. A lot of door banging here between the two of them, and Brunel is still side by side with Michalkiewicz. He'll have the inside line here through the stern, but he seems to have broken earlier than Michalkiewicz, and the pole will have P5 for now, and Brunel isn't able to slot nearby Michalkiewicz yet again after that. Sergei Soroka, you can see how big of a gap he has on Alan Palmer already, nearly 2 seconds. Although that's dropping now as they head into this fairly medium speed turn 2 and 3. But yeah, no, you can see the gap already between Palmer and Soroka, and Palmer is making quite a lot of mistakes here, going slightly wide, taking the grass, which slows him down more than Soroka. And I do think Soroka, unless he has some issues or a crash on his own, I think he will be able to win this unless Martin Morrow gets past Alan Palmer quick enough, which I think he'll be able to do so here, and then gone for Sergei Soroka.
Yep, he's going to go for the commitment down to the final corner and shuts the door on Palmer. A fantastic move right around the outside is what Morrow needs to do to try to bridge the gap between himself and Soroka. But Palmer won't be done yet because he's got the longest straight upcoming. With the slipstream, Dobrotnik could be as well invited into this picture for the battle for P2. The slipstream does not really aid Palmer that much. As, oh my goodness me, that's the Dobrotnik spinning around!
He's not saved it. He's not saved it. He's facing backwards here, and he'll have to rejoin carefully here, and I think he will. But Artur Drobnik, who was 4th, which was, oh, never mind, he's kept it safe. And he's still stationary. Has he anti-stalled?
No,
he's
he's
waiting for, oh, thank God. That was
a heart attack and a half. It was a heart attack and a half.
I do not understand why Artur Drobnik waited so long for Carl Struhal to approach him to try and rejoin, but thankfully he only took the cone with him and not Carl Struhal. But
could be
back to
no
what I was
relative,
trying
maybe?
to say. Could have been that he just anti-stalled or something.
In these cars?
Oh, well,
Is that possible?
Well, no, not anti-stalled. I don't know. I do not know. I've not driven these cars. I've, mm,
If you want to drive in this series, join the SimGrid and the Discord server for
yeah.
for more Formula Racing League, and don't forget also ACC and LMU, Masters of the ACC and Masters of the LMU on Saturdays, I think, and also Taco Tuesdays as well. In the other, actually, it's on right now, Taco Tuesdays. So feel free to tune to
Yeah, but
that
we're
once
better.
this is over. We're better. We're having an internal squabble with the battle of the FRL factions, will you will. 11
Evidently,
and
rFactor 2 is the better sim.
obviously, me and Lorenzo, we've got rFactor 2 running in our veins.
We do, unfortunately. Let's get back onto the topic at hand, which is the race. It's calmed down quite a lot, so I do feel like we're at more liberty to have a bit more waffle, as there's massive gaps all around. Unfortunately, what I predicted did not come true for this first race, as the smallest gap at the moment is between Tom Brunel and Dave Goodway for P5, which is just over a second, and I feel like that gap is going to shrink in about 2 laps, unless Tom Brunel keeps doing what he did there, and I mean that gap just disappeared in front of our eyes, as Dave Goodway takes advantage of Tom Brunel sailing into the grass out of turn 1 and goes into P5. As Artur Drobnik also clipped the grass there, and
Girl gives the place
very
to...
easily disposes of Carl Struhel.
Yeah.
It did look like, in a way, that Carl Struhel just yielded the place, but I do think that he just missed his braking points, as we've reached the halfway point of the race and all is quiet on the western front, as
Should
one could
we have
say.
a replay for what happened?
I think we can have a replay, yes. I think this is the right time for a replay, in fairness. Replay time.
Okay, replay time. Alright, let's
This is Dave Goodway. We need to go further.
So this was Struha that was going very slow. He was one of the first to go off track. And
No, just took too much. Just did he? No, he kept it out of the tire barrier. Nice.
he kept out of the tire barrier, which is pretty impressive.
Saved it from the
Dubrovnik
damage. Still.
Dubrovnik was just a simple off track for him. That's fair enough. And
Tom Brunel went off here, but he also went off in the previous turn ever so slightly.
Did, and Dubrovnik does make the move on past.
Yes,
yeah, this is the...
Yep. No, I do think Dave Goodway pinched David Holkiewicz there. Yes, I think this is a perfect angle for looking at this, actually. You can see Dave Goodway going down and pinching Holkiewicz. He's already on the curb and he's touching the grass. He can't go anywhere other than the track, really. And he's still as far as he can be alongside the white line on the right hand side. So I do think that this incident ultimately is on Dave Goodway. Although,
no.
I think the initial I do think the initial contact is on Dave Goodway, as he did pinch Michalkiewicz down. But then the second point of contact, I do think that Michalkiewicz could have slowed down more. If we could see his pedal inputs by any chance, I think that would be a good indication of what he actually did. But again, I think the first point, there we go, perfect.
Yep,
that is absolutely perfect.
No,
that is, in my opinion, on Michalkiewicz. No, and then there's no attempt to slow down. He just lifts off both pedals and has no pedal input at all, which results in him just sailing into the back of Goodway and getting them both off track.
Oh, good. Yeah, Goodway was clearly, I think it wasn't expecting Michalkiewicz, but Michalkiewicz, I think, should have lifted off a little bit more if that
he should have lifted off at the second point of Well, no, because I feel like, in my opinion, Michalkiewicz was entitled to the space, as he was bumper to bumper. His front bumper was alongside Goodway's rear bumper. I do think that Michalkiewicz was entitled to more space, as he's made his way up to P3 while we were showing replays in the past 2 minutes. So he's gone past Alan Palmer, and now he's only got Martin Morel and Sergei Sorokin in front of him, which I do think he won't be able to clear, unfortunately. I don't think he'll have enough time to close an 8-second and 5-second gap in just under 7 minutes. But Alan Palmer is still only just a second behind David Mihalkiewicz. Can he potentially come back and challenge Mihalkiewicz for P3? Or will Tower start taking its effect on one or the both of them?
Hard to tell. It's very, very hard to tell. This moment, positions gained and lost. Morel, the biggest gainer of the grid by far. 3 positions gained, then followed by Brunel. Everyone else has either stayed or dropped. Goodaway, of course,
Yeah,
with that.
Goodaway has dropped the most.
But he had the accent as well to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Energy remaining, everyone's at 0%, obviously. And tight A for good measure. P. I'll keep
Everyone
it
has
on
the P tires.
the P tires. Good one. Yeah, under
Our
6.
drivers are very well hydrated.
For real. Under 6 minutes left to go. Sergei Sorokin still holds on to a comfortable lead as the gap has been increased to 4.3 between himself and Morel. So I think Morel is definitely doing his best to climb up, but might be a little bit too late for Morel, and no one can seem to really topple Sorokin. Did Sorokin do well in the races that we did in Monday? I can't remember.
Sorokin, are we talking about yesterday's GPWC Academy race?
Yes, he was there, right?
He was there indeed, and I do have the spreadsheet with me if I can pull that up. He finished race 1 in P21 out of 26, and race 2 he was 11th out of 24.
Oh yeah, I finished ahead of him. What a flex.
What, in race 1?
Yeah, in race 1. I was P19. What a flex.
Oh, yeah, and then I remember seeing you spin out of turn 2 on the formation for race 2.
Netcode.
I remember that.
Netcode.
I remember that because I was rear-ended by Alfie Denley while slowing down for that. So Alfie, if you're for some reason watching this, it's all your fault.
Alfie, thank you so much for your setup. Like, as soon as I tried your setup, out of turn 1, I collected Ben Skinner. Literally the first turn out of the pits.
That setup was intentionally made to be bad, by the way.
Oh, I see. I wonder if Alex...
Were you not sent a different setup?
No, I was. But it was literally in practice. It was literally in practice. Alfie said, hey, try this setup. I was like, what do I have to lose? There's no such thing as a bad start, right? And then I went off track, and then I put the throttle down, and then I just literally lost it, and then I collided with Ben Skinner, literally.
I mean, in fairness, you did better than me. I didn't have to both races, because I got brutally murdered by Ivor Kuritz in both races.
Kuritz
well,
was
no,
me,
actually,
though.
it wasn't Kaido. Yeah, that's not good for commentary chemistry. I apologise to Kaido Kuritz if he's watching this for some reason.
Netcode, Lorenzo, look, netcode.
Not Kaido.
No, I'm serious. Like, I had such a big lag at the start of the race. It's like, oh dear God, because as you see,
I do believe you.
Because as you said, your wheel was taken off, but I didn't get any damage. You know.
I do believe you because I remember but that was during practice on Friday, and I wasn't even on the official GPV servers. I had such massive rubber banding and lag spikes that it was borderline impossible to do a lap for me. So I just did yesterday's round on the practice I had during the practice session. I was only 2.5 seconds off. I'm proud of myself. Not really.
Not bad. Be 149. Get on my level.
We've talked way too much about ourselves, as there's no action really here on track with just over 2 minutes left. The smallest gap between any two people is between Martin Morel and David Mihalkiewicz, and that's 3.5 seconds, and I just don't see that dropping unless Martin Morrell makes a horrendous mistake. So I feel like now would be the time to talk about the current standings before this round, maybe.
Good idea. We can definitely do that. Standings have been applied, and from the previous round in round
Yay.
4. So heading into round 5, Mishalkiewicz still holds. I think he's clinched the championship at this point. 227 points, almost. Well, just almost 100 points clear. He's about. Actually, it's not 100 points clear. He's about 60. He's 60 something. 66.
Do I get the
66.
calculator out?
No, he's 66 points clear from, or no, he's not 60. Yeah, he's 66. He's 66 points clear of Dave Goodway. So Dave Goodway takes second place, and Marcin Morrell, who we're riding on board with now, I think, is 1 point adrift from Goodway. So these two are going to continue to fight it out to the final round in Long Beach. And outside of that top 3, Antonios Papadopoulos, who's not here today, he's 124. Sergei Sorotka, who's won every race that he's appeared on, similar to Papadopoulos, bar round 1. Sorotka is going to make this his another round where he wins, which is impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, I think he... Actually, no, he's not on par with Michalkiewicz. He's better than Michalkiewicz because Michalkiewicz did not win any of the 3 races, and yeah, he didn't win any of the races last week at Multimetric Park. So Sergei Soroka, he's won every round that he's turned up to. Let me just check, because I do feel like Michalkiewicz still hasn't... I do think Michalkiewicz still hasn't secured the championship. I do want to check the points. You can get 25 points for winning a race.
We'll have a look for it,
and
though. Soroka comes round through the final quarter, and a fantastic race win from himself. The Ukrainian will pick up another race win accolade to the Touring Car Classic. He wins the first race here at New Jersey Motorsport Park, and a fantastic display of racecraft for himself. Marcin Morrell goes through with a great second place for himself, as Michalkiewicz, it was definitely damage control, and he did it to his absolute finest to recover to a podium place with his Volvo. A Volvo 2-3 as it stands. I think this is the... No, it's not the first time BMW has won. Sorotka has always won in the BMW. Palmer in 4th. Very good from him, as Dave Goodway, similar damage control, but I think came off worst for his contact with Michalkiewicz, means that he ends up in 5th. With Brunel does finish off at the end to finish 6th, with Dubrovnik rounds off through at 7th, and it's just Carl Struhal as he rounds up through the final quarter. And where does he finish, Lorenzo?
I do wonder. I think he might be 8th, you know. Jokes aside, though, it was very sad to see Carl Struhal go off immediately at the start of the race. But I do hope he does better in the second and third races, as he decides to take a lunge and lose both rear tires, I think that is. I just don't think he's happy with his race, to be honest, after that.
That was a great jump indeed. Final race results, though. Sergei Soroka wins with Marcin Morrell 2nd, Michalkiewicz 3rd, Alan Palmer 4th, Dave Goodway 5th, Tom Brunel 6th, Alfred Dubrovnik 7th, and Carl Struhal completes over through to the top 8. So I was wrong. Michalkiewicz does not clinch the championship because he's only 66 points, and as you said, it's 25 points awarded for a race win. So the max you get is 75. So I was absolutely wrong. If he maintains a 66 point gap at the end of this, he will win. Who's second again?
Well, no, because if the maximum is 75 points, then he can still be beaten at Long Beach. If he has a 76 point gap over Dave Goodway by the end of New Jersey, then he's clinched the championship with a round to spare.
We should have hyped up the collision more. We should have hyped up the collision more, because I realized it was 2 championship contenders colliding. Oh, I'm sorry, FRL. I didn't do your racing product justice. I'm a fraud.
That just brings even more spice to the championship, really, doesn't it? I'll think it'll be interesting to see whether Goodway or Michalkiewicz report one another after that. Have we had any reports this season so far, just in general, not any that altered race results in the end? I don't think I've seen any. This brings even more. Or maybe I've just not looked hard enough.
Someone says, I don't know how old cars work.
Oh, I know that person. That's Juho Sopinen. Hello, Juho.
Right, the quick server change. We'll move on very quickly to the other one. Is that GPVWC Academy commentator Juho Sopinen?
I think it might be Amir.
Holy moly.
I think he also drives in FS2.
No way.
I've just had a thought pop into my mind. How many car manufacturers have we had win this season? We had Alfa Romeo with Antonis Paparinopoulos. We've had Bimmers with Michalkiewicz and Soroka. We've had the Honda with Dave Goodway, and I think that's the only three manufacturers we've had win this season.
Volvo, Honda.
Oh no,
Sorry.
Volvo actually, yes.
Volvo's literally the most dominant it's been with Michalkiewicz, and you've avoided that.
No, yeah, I forgot. For some reason, I thought Michalkiewicz was with a Bimmer, not a Volvo. But no, you're completely right. So we had Volvo with Michalkiewicz, we had Bimmers with Soroka, Alfa Romeos with Paparinopoulos, and we've had a Honda with Dave Goodway. So I think there's four different manufacturers who won.
Yeah, BMW, Alfa, Volvo, and Nissan.
Oh no, Nissan. Yes, sorry. Why am I saying that Dave Goodway is with a Honda, not a Nissan?
Because you're confusing him with Tom.
Tom Brunel, yes.
Tom Brunel has not yet won a race yet. Still finished a high fourth.
He still has 5 more tries.
Lucas Golfanderson also scored a podium in the Nissan. So the only manufacturers that have not managed to win a race that have made an appearance in FRL have been the Peugeot, the Audi, the Renault, the Honda, and I think that's it.
The Ford.
And the Ford. And the Ford.
I mean, some of these are unlikely to win again, as the drivers who've driven in them have changed over to different manufacturers. For example, the Audi has been switched over from. The Renault has been switched over from. The Peugeot, I think, has been switched over from, or the driver just isn't competing anymore.
Which one?
The Peugeot. Who was in the Peugeot again? I would like to check this. It was
Mike Van Dorn.
Mike Van Dorn, yes.
Who's...
Oh, well, no, Mike Van Dorn has not done any of the rounds so far.
I'm surprised Yuri Kotocho hasn't showed up, to be honest.
There's been a couple of people who've signed up but have not shown up yet. Julien Kerr has not shown up yet. Bart Bohensky has not showed up yet. Thomas Hall has been disqualified for a reason not known to me, as he's not done round 2 or 3, which he was signed up for. Samuel Newhouse, another person who's not showed up yet. Jason Filippando, Mike Van Dorn, Yuri Stochville. All people who have not shown up at any point through this season but have signed up. So that means of the 18 people who have signed up for the series, only 11 have done a round, or well, a race. Which is a bit disheartening, but you know, you can really only hope that more people come in. There's only so much you can do for advertising and good words and whatnot, but yeah.
If you too want to get
you also do have to hope.
Formula Racing League, feel free to check our join it via SimGrid, check our join our Discord. Yeah, great racing, very great racing actually. May I mind you, it's been, I think, some of the best off-road duels I have seen have come through this round alone. So if you two once again,
It will be even better racing with more people.
yeah, indeed. And if this is your first exposure to rFactor 2 as well, rFactor 2 has been a sim for about 12 years now at this point. Still kicking and screaming into the 2020s, the late 2020s now, and there's still a lot of things that are actually unrivaled on rFactor 2 in my honest opinion. I think the
modding scene.
Well, more than Assetto Corsa.
I mean, compared to Assetto Corsa, the modding scene in rFactor 2 doesn't really compare, but compared to some other games, like, which other sim would you say has a better modding scene than rFactor 2?
Assetto Corsa.
Other than Assetto Corsa, obviously.
rFactor 1.
Yeah, well, rFactor 1 doesn't really work anymore for online championships unless you use Radmin. And who would use Radmin in Big 2026?
Centro Baggio.
I don't think even he does that anymore. I think Alessandro Maggio's rFactor 1 days are long behind.
Fair enough. Okay, we got the grid to line up so we can do the starting order of today's race through once again. Sergei Sorochka starts again once again from the first, Marcel Morrow second, Zbyszko Kiewicz third, Alan Palmer completes over through to the top four, which is the race. The rest of the four is Goodway fifth, Bernal sixth, Dubrovnik seventh, and Struhal eighth. Okay, so
I do like how Martin.
I guess we just wait for the flag to drop.
I think we do, because I don't see any lights anywhere. So, is the man going to hold up his flag? He is. And then he's just going to drop it. Old school style, there we go. And the race has started. And that was a very shaky start by Sergei Soroka. But he has managed to keep P1 from both Michalkiewicz and Morel. Oh, Michalkiewicz a bit slower through turn 1 there as he was held up by Morel. And that nearly caused Alan Palmer to go into the back of him. That could have ended very, very badly for the both of them. And everything seems really clean through the start of this race so far, as Alan Palmer was a bit shaky through that section there, but kept control of the car. And yeah, very calm start as it stands for now, Amir. I don't see any incidents anywhere. And the field already seems to be spreading out ever so slightly, so that's, again, not massive spreading out, but still. Oh, never mind. And Dubrovnik felt a bit audacious there, but backed away in the last second from Dave Goodway.
Yeah, is this the most cleanest race start ever? If yes, leave a comment on the live chat. On exit from Morrow, though, he's going to be under pressure from Michalkiewicz, though, who's still got a podium. Would like a race win after being winless last time round. Utilize as much of the track as he possibly can. Further back in his Goodway, and Palmer also going to go side by side into turn 1. Who will come up for a top there? Palmer still just about takes the lead over there. There is Michalkiewicz, though. He's making the overtake. Wait, Soroka's gone off. He's dropped from first all the way down to third. And meanwhile, it's still the battle between the two Volvos, between Morrow and Michalkiewicz. Morrow has the chance to get his first race win here, Lorenzo.
He does indeed. I think he won this more than anyone else here on the grid, as he's the best. Again, I think he's the highest standing driver currently in the championship without a win. So he'll definitely want to win. And I think he's in with a good chance here. And we did see Sergei Soroka went way too wide out of turn 1 there. And that cost him P1 and P2. And we mentioned Marcin Morrow. And we mentioned actually Artur Drobnik behind, who was attacking Tom Bernal. But it doesn't look like he's been successful in that. And the gap seems to be dropping off already between the two of them. But again, the gap between Marcin Morrow and David Michalkiewicz seems to be slowly increasing, although it will be dropping now with the slipstream that Michalkiewicz will have off the back of Morrow. And Morrow says the fastest lap time of the race so far, a 107.9. And Morrow took that tidier than Michalkiewicz. Oh, there's yellow flags, and that's Alan Palmer dropping, so something's happened to Alan Palmer in the back.
Oh
Yellow
dear.
flags are clear now. Oh, is he facing the wrong way? Oh, well, he
He,
was, but he's not anymore.
he
Was there
was.
any contact between Alan Palmer and Dave Goodway?
Only one way to find out. Let's have a look over to the replay.
Let's take a look at the replay as well. There's
Oh god.
no action at the moment. Oh, he was facing the wrong way completely. I don't think there's... Surely... he just... Yeah, again, that's what happened to Carl Striho at the start of race 1. Just went 2 tires on the grass to on the curb. And... Yeah, too much for all input. Slight tap on the tire barriers. Could be some damage to the front suspension, but hopefully not anything significant that'll hamper him. As David Mihalkiewicz thought about a move there, but he took so much curb on the inside, and that slowed him down so much, which is allowing Sergei Soroka to try and get alongside him, but he's failed as Mihalkiewicz there has the inside line through the long line right-handers of 2 and 3. Although that's allowed Martin Morrell to peel away, and he's now got more than a second of a gap between himself and Mihalkiewicz, Amir.
Sergei Soroka and Goodway battling for P3 as well, so this is really completely give Morrell the breather he so desperately desired, and Mihalkiewicz could be seen to be under threat, but if Soroka and Goodway do battle, then it will allow for Mihalkiewicz to at least regroup and join back up to his fight with Morrell. Still not over yet for Mihalkiewicz in terms of his winning ambitions. It's still there, still completely possible with 15.5 minutes left to go onto the clock though, and still anyone's guess as to see who will fill up through the podium between Morrell, Mihalkiewicz and Soroka and Goodway! So Goodway almost looks down into turn 1 up the inside, but definitely was not going to be there when Soroka did manage to take through the racing line. I think often at times whenever you attack or defend, especially these turn guards, it's a game of cat and mouse really. Like it depends whether if you bite the bullet or not.
Yeah, it's absolutely. But I do think that Goodway will be in with a good shot here very soon. We saw as he crossed the line, he set the fastest lap of the race at 106.9. And he's definitely being helped by the slipstream. He constantly gets off of Sergei Soroka's car as David Mihalkiewicz there goes wide, takes a wider line, which allows Sergei Soroka to get closer to him, but Sergei Soroka more cautious through this right-hander here on entry, which allows Mihalkiewicz to peel away a bit more again. And I do think Mihalkiewicz is not in the slipstream range of Martin Morrell anymore, because he's not gaining as much on him.
No.
And Sergei Soroka though is on the slipstream slipstream range of David Mihalkiewicz, which shows with a 106.6 fastest lap time of the race. And I think at the moment we have a three-way battle for P2, although it does for a moment feel like it's Soroka holding up Goodway as opposed to Mihalkiewicz holding up the two of them combined. Although something has happened to Martin Morrell, because the gap has now it's dropped by half a second, and it's now 5 tenths between Morrell and Mihalkiewicz, which means again Mihalkiewicz will be in slipstream range down this long start-finish straight. Oh no, he's gone wide. He's gone so wide through the middle of that long right-hander, and I do think he's lost about a tenth on Morrell there, but I don't think that is going to allow Sergei Soroka to get any closer to him here.
Which just seems to be almost at no man's land coming through the straight. No real slipstream gains or anywhere. It did see Morrell lost 3 tenths compared to his teammate, Mihalkiewicz. So there could be that at hand to play. Oh, goodness me! Soroka nearly loses it, but manages to keep it straight. And that could have been ugly. He still kept it on track and doesn't lose any positions. Only just a tenth or so from that. My, what a save that was from the Ukrainian.
That was a great save, but I think a tenth or so is quite an overstatement. I don't think he's lost much, especially as he's still in the slipstream range of Mihalkiewicz. But again, you said no man's land. I do feel like, again, the slipstream gains that the cars are getting off of one another are being cancelled out by the fact they're all in a small little train, and then the dirty air through the turns as well just kind of cancels out anything they gain with the slipstream, and the slipstream just doesn't appear to be strong enough to get the cars close enough for any sort of attack. Soroka sets to 106.5, yet another fastest lap time of the race by the Ukrainian, as I thought for a second because of the bitrate drop that, oh, never mind,
No.
Soroka is a bit uneasy with the car, and he's lost so much time on Michalkiewicz there, and that allows Dave Goodway to get past him, and Dave Goodway now finally free. He's been released from the cage, and can he get Michalkiewicz and possibly Morrow with 11.5 minutes left to go?
I think time will tell. Goodway not completely out of harm's way just yet. Also seen down the back, Brunel and Dubrovnik slowly closing in themselves, so we'll see how it goes. If the battle between Goodway and Soroka is battling, or continues to battle, we're still just about, we're not even past the halfway point, so I think there's still a bit of time for them to think of the bigger picture, and that is Marcin Morrow, and just aim for him. I can understand, I don't know, I don't think they should be battling like this, although it's hard to tell. It's often hard to tell whenever you have non-verbal communication between drivers. It's almost an art form, which I don't possess, to be honest.
Well, you say there's no verbal communication with the drivers. I do definitely feel like there's some drivers here on the grid who will be communicating with one another through voice calls or whatnot, and we can see, especially through deliveries, obviously this championship has no genuine teams, but we can see through the liveries that Marcin Morrow and David Michalkiewicz are going to be closer together than the rest of the grid, and I think Artur Drobnik is in that group as well. Speed Eagles, if I remember correctly. And obviously we said that the slipstream doesn't seem to be too strong, but I do think that David Michalkiewicz can lap faster times than he's doing so far. And we mentioned Artur Drobnik is a part of that trio. He's trying to go down the inside of Tom Brunel here, and he's not managed to do it yet, but he will have a slipstream, quite a lot of it here. He's right on the tail of the Belgian here, although Brunel's close inside line all the way through the front straight and then moves over to the outside to take the normal line, although he's gone onto the grass there, but not significantly enough for Drobnik to try and get back past. And if we can go back to there we go, I was talking about it, obviously that Polish trio of Michalkiewicz, Morrow and Drobnik are going to be closer together than the rest of the grid. And again, I was saying Michalkiewicz seems to be lapping lap times that are slower than what I think he can be doing. So the question is Michalkiewicz working together with Morrow to get Morrow his first win here in the Touring Car Classic Series?
The joy of an outsider's perspective, we can have so many theories, and none of us could ever know which one is the correct one. Down into turn one they're gonna go, so if Michalkiewicz is gonna do that, he's got a fight and a half. Soroka goes a bit wide, but look at this, Goodway finds the opening from against Michalkiewicz into turn one, or turn two, but Michalkiewicz will indeed defend. Look at this, it's gonna come a bit of a hecticness. He finds the inside opening, he's gonna look inside. Is it going to be enough for P2 for Goodway? Shuts the door on him, they both collide. Goodway and Michalkiewicz collide once again, but it's Goodway this time that comes out on top as he gets second place, and Michalkiewicz has lost a position, 2 positions in fact, down to P4.
Again, these two getting into contact with one another. It's happened in race 1 again, and these two are championship contenders here, so Goodway obviously is going to want as many positions as he can get, but again, these two they've collided in the first race, they collided here in the second race, although this one seemed slightly less consequential, because in the first one both Michalkiewicz and Goodway dropped far down. This time it was only Goodway he went past, and Michalkiewicz only dropped 2 positions. Oh, Soroka now taps the back of Goodway there, but again not significant enough to try and impact him. Soroka now trying to get past Goodway for P2, and Mihalkiewicz is so quick to come back there, and this has all allowed Marcin Morel to make a massive gap on the trio behind him. And I mean, look at that, 2.5 second gap between Marcin Morel and Dave Goodway. I do think Marcin Morel will finally be able to get his first win this season, especially, again, you said, outsider's perspective, we can't really know what's going on between the drivers, but I do feel like Mihalkiewicz was giving out a helping hand to Morel to try and get him to his first win here, and especially with how he was holding up Soroka and Goodway. But now that Goodway has gone past Mihalkiewicz, I do wonder whether Soroka will be working together with Goodway to try and catch up to Morel, and then they can battle it out. Or will Soroka want to go on his own and try and get to Morel?
It depends how the gap is, that if Soroka will want to contribute or not, because sometimes it may be a bit slow to offer assistance in such circumstances, but with 6 minutes and 10 to go, the clock is certainly ticking for both Goodway and for Soroka to try and take P1 away from Marcin's hands. But that little incident between Goodway and Mihalkiewicz is all the opening that Morel has been granted, and as a result, he's running away with it, Lorenzo.
He is, but again, you mentioned whether it will be slower to help each other out, and I'm looking at the gaps, and Soroka is currently lapping faster than Goodway, so if the two of them wanted to catch up to Morel, I feel like, again, we do not know whether these two are communicating with one another, but Soroka would be the smarter option to have in front for the time being to try and catch Morel, but Goodway, obviously, as the championship contender, is not going to let that happen, and especially because even if Soroka was in front of Goodway, lapping faster, I do think that Soroka is lapping faster than Goodway currently because Soroka has the slipstream that Goodway is providing him, and Goodway doesn't have that much clean air. Obviously, Morel only 2.3 in front, so is it worth it for either of them to concede or to stay in front? Obviously, for Goodway, it would be more beneficial to stay in front as it stands, as he would gain more points on Mihalkiewicz by being in second over being in third. But again, these are all tactical things that drivers have to consider between one another, and with just 4.5 minutes left in the race, they won't have much time to consider these things. I mean,
but the more that this goes on and the uncertainty ticks down between Goodway and Soroka, if they're going to try and aim for the lead, it's just going to allow Morel to truly cement it more and more. So surely Soroka, I think being the fastest driver, will have to make his way past number through. It's happened in the collision over, and Goodway has gone around.
The wall so hard. He's hit the wall so hard, and will Dave Goodway continue, or will he just retire? Is he moving? I don't think he is. I think
he's not moving.
Is he in neutral? Has he decided to call it quits for this race? I think he's just he's gone to the pit lane and he's out of the race with just 3.5 minutes left. But that's allowed Mihalkiewicz to get past Soroka as well now.
That's really allowed for Morel to run away with it, because Soroka slowed down with the collision. And that has allowed for Mihalkiewicz to go through. Whether we can have time for a replay or not. Actually, do we have time for... I think
we do, because... well, no, actually, Carl Struhal is slowly catching Alan Palmer. But I don't think this is the part of the track where Struhal could be on for a move. So I think we can quickly check the replays while Carl Struhal and Alan Palmer make their way to the front straight.
Okay, alrighty.
There we go.
That was so devastating.
That was heartbreaking really for Dave Goodway all the way to put it. Can we have the onboard from the cockpit of Dave Goodway?
He's on the.
No, no need for it. No need for it.
He's on the brakes.
I thought for a second that Dave Goodway was still slowly moving over to the left and pinching Soroka, which caused this contact. But I do think, actually no, could we check from the cockpit of Dave Goodway? He kind of was. It's hard to discern. I think maybe from Soroka's point of view it could be better seen. I don't know. I think that's hard to call. Personally.
Here he makes the overtake. Tries to overtake.
It's hard to tell from that angle because you can't really see significantly enough whether Goodway is moving over to the left slightly and pinching Soroka. Can we... It does look like it, but it's hard to tell, and I think that fact, whether Goodway is moving over to the left still or not.
There's no deliberate stern input to the left. I think it's just trying to pinch. He's just trying to pinch. That's fine.
I do think.
The thing
no,
is,
I do think that Goodway was trying to pinch ever so slightly, but it backfired.
The thing is, Goodway has to break like that anyways because he's in the middle of the track. So it's truly like that, really. But the timer slowly ticks down, and what a race this has certainly been of attrition, as Mishalkiewicz going to be in a battle with Soroka for the final place, though. Before this, but attention comes up front, though. Often the bridesmaid. But this time he's finally going to get his first race win here in FRL. Marcin Morel will take the race win for race 2 here at New Jersey Motorsport Park.
There's going to be a drag race between Soroka and Morel.
It's going to be right down to the line as Mishalkiewicz just about beats Soroka to the line.
And there's still a battle of Struhol. There's only 6 tenths behind Alan Palmer.
Still, I know it's incredible. They're still fighting even after all that replay. Palmer a little bit wide, but we'll see if Stroll can make any sort of closeness here. Coming over down to the final corner here for the Mondeo driver. Palmer definitely struggling so much here.
Well, I think he might be on for a drag race here between Struhol and Palmer. No, not quite.
Palmer's pulled away. He's pulled away just about enough that even with the slipstream advantage from Strohal, it is not going to be enough as Palmer will take 6 off from Strohal at the very, very end. And this time Strohal does not crash because it was actually a frustrating race for him. He actually did really well, which massive congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
country. I feel happy for Struhal, but obviously not as happy as I am for our winner.
Absolutely. Marcin Morel whomps. Marcin Morel finally gets his first race win of the championship, and an incredibly well-deserved one with that, defending against Mishalkiewicz, Soroka and Goodway en route to that race win. Mishalkiewicz did manage to get second place at the very end, with Sergei Soroka trying to do everything he possibly can to take second place away from David. Just fell short just at the line. But he'll still take third place. Dobrotnik in fourth, with Tom Burnell in fifth, Alan Palmer sixth, Kostruha seventh, Dave Goodway. That collision to turn 1 is the only retirement that we've had in the round so far, so not bad.
I think isn't that Dave Goodway's first retirement this season? I feel like it's not, but no, it is not. He DNF'd in round 3 was.
Did you check? Did you look at the chat?
I have not. What has been going on in our YouTube chat?
Hello, Casper.
Oh, hello, Casper.
What is Blood doing? Ref sent him off. Referee sent him off. The VR decision. Red card. uh,
Yeah,
never, never change Casper.
we welcome Orbit Motorsports driver Casper Kuris to the stream.
Welcome.
What was I going to say? Is this the first Estonian to ever be watching an FRL stream? Surely he
this
can't.
donate to watch an FRL stream.
There's several million people in Estonia.
Several million, yes. Million? Several million.
I don't know how many exactly. I mean, it can't be just 1 million. Surely there's 2 million people in Estonia. Can we have a fact check? I'm booting up Wikipedia right now.
How many?
What am I saying? I don't need to boot Wikipedia up. It's just on the browser.
5 minutes
Estonia,
of
here we go.
warm up to go. Actually, no, 4 minutes. My bad. As Lorenzo fact checks. Oh my god, we're gonna do a lot of fact checking as a duo, huh? My god.
Let's see. Population 2021 census 1.3 million. So I am wrong. It's not several million. It's just 1 million and a bit more.
1 million. I think Northern Ireland has got a bigger population than Estonia. That's kind of wild to think about.
Well, Northern Ireland's part of the UK and whatnot, so
how dare you?
You got a cheat.
Yeah,
you got a cheat code. Well, by all accounts, you are. You can't deny it, can you?
Northern Ireland population 1.93 million. Holy moly!
There's 600,000 people more in Northern Ireland than Estonia.
That's. I was gonna swear. That's crazy.
That's probably like one whole Southampton.
Never
Do you
say.
want to know how many people are in Southampton?
Never say anything again. It makes up 3% of the UK's population, and about 27% of the population of Ireland as a country. Not a country.
Oh no, sorry. Southampton only has 304,000 people.
300 and what?
304,000 people only in Southampton. So that's 2 Southamptons to fill up the gap between Estonia and Northern Ireland.
It's not. It's. Wait. No way.
No, because Northern Ireland has 1.9 million and Estonia has 1.3.
Oh, phew! Thank God.
And 2 times 304 is 608.
I was bloody scared. I thought my hometown was more popular than Southampton.
Why would you be in Southampton? Why would anyone be in Southampton? With all respect to people in Southampton.
They could be a Liverpool Academy player.
Not this.
Football references in FRL.
Yeah.
Let's go. What did you say? What city did you say was the new esports capital of the world? That's offer like esports.
Oh god, don't remind me. For context, I've been looking at the UCAS website for universities to apply to in the UK, and for some reason there's an esports course in Swindon.
To the esports capital of the world.
To Swindon for Why anyone would go to Swindon for esports specifically? No less.
Swindon esports
is beyond me.
I need to have a look.
Yeah, we're looking at Swindon esports during the warm up. That's amazing. Why? Genuinely, what esports could be done in Swindon?
You're not gonna believe this, but I think it's North Star Esports, the one that's mentioned. It's got 217 followers on Twitch. For context, 1.74k are subscribed to the Formula Racing League. Make that of you will. We don't cost 9,000. We don't cost 9,000 a year.
FRL is bigger than Swindon.
Let's go.
You've heard it here first, folks.
FRL degree in esports win.
Nah. Can we have that, I think?
Probably. No, it's not that. It's pretty easy to. Oh my goodness me!
Is it? Oh, what's Carl Strehal doing?
He's caused
Is
Drew
he
death.
unhappy with warm-up now?
I don't
Surely
know.
he can't be unhappy with warm-up.
I have. Your guess is as good as mine, right? So, one final round left to
Is
go.
warm-up even over?
Warm up is over. Let me get the tower.
So this will be our last race here in FRL, unfortunately,
Yeah,
because we
sadly.
will be missing Long Beach due to other commitments.
But to everyone that brought us in here and for the support, thank you all very much. I think for me and Lorenzo both speak, it's an honor to have commentated here, and we had lots and lots of fun.
Actually, no. I do hope that there's a replacement fan for us for Long Beach, because it would be a shame for that to not be streamed, especially if the championship isn't decided yet.
Yeah, true. Do you want to do the starting order?
Yeah. Okay, so Dave Goodway will be on pole position, which will be very, very nice for him. Carl Striegel in second, Alan Palmer in third, Tom Brunel in fourth. I turned scout as well, saying Carl Striegel for some reason. Artur Drobnik in fifth, Sergei Soroka sixth, David Mihalkiewicz seventh, and Martin Morrell, who won the last race, is in eighth, which means that race 3 starting order is reverse of race 2 finish order.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
We're waiting for the flag to drop again for one last time for us. But lots of possibilities to see who can come out on top. Can Michał Klevich claim a race win once again, or is he going to go winless like he did last time round? So many opportunities. Time will shortly tell as the timer is slowly ticking down as we wait for the 20-minute mark to drop and the green flag to drop as well. They're off and we're underway here once again. A bit of a rev there up ahead as Goodway is the one that's going to lead. Heading into turn 1, Struhal going to split in between himself and Palmer as he still leads on through to second. And I think the position's almost stayed. Palmer is going to have a look down for the inside, coming over for turn 3. And he will happily take second place off from Struhal's hands. As further back, that is Stubrotnik, I think, going a little bit wide. As we look around, that is Brunel. He's yet to score a podium as Palmer slides off. Struhal goes off and makes collision with Brunel.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh my god!
Oh, there's more people in the back.
There's more people.
There's more people in the back. That was Soroka, I think.
I think that might have been Soroka. Yes, you're right. That was Soroka. And that was Mihalkiewicz as well. Oh, bad starts from everyone. Oh my good lord, that was such a bad. That was such a hectic start. Oh my word.
That is night and day compared to the start we had in race 2. But can we just take a second before looking at the replays? Look at the gap that Dave Goodway has already established with Alan Palmer. It's 1.8 seconds already. It's 2 seconds now. And then there's a second between Palmer and Morrell. And then there's even bigger gap between... I mean, look at these gaps.
Oh.
Can we take a replay? Can we take a look at the replay?
Oh dear God.
Soroka is very close to Tom Brunel, but I think we want to look at the replays before anything else unfolds. Okay, so this is Carl Struhal on the grass. Still, well, no, almost no throttle input.
Hold the brakes.
Actually, no. Almost no pedal input at all by Carl Struhal, and that caused the spin. That hit Tom Brunel. Carl Struhal spinning forced Mihalkiewicz and Soroka to go into one another, and that caused the both of them to go off into the grass.
Oh, no.
Again, look at pedal inputs by Carl Struhal.
You need to hold. Oh God.
Mihalkiewicz tapped the back of Soroka and then got tapped by the back of Soroka. I mean, Soroka really couldn't do anything here. I feel like if Soroka wasn't tapped by Mihalkiewicz, he wouldn't have gone as wide as he did, but at the same time, it's not Mihalkiewicz's fault by any means, because he himself had nowhere to go. Can we roll it back like 10 seconds more? Here we go. Okay, Palmer, bit wide but saves his Struhal. No pedal input at all, no brakes, no throttle, no nothing. He saves it himself, but he scores 3 other people to go off track, which is, well, nearly half the grid, let's be real here. So, that is so poor by Carl Suhal. And, I mean, Tom Brunel did well to save it, but he's going to have flat spotted tyres. That's going to affect his race, which is a shame for that lovely looking Honda.
If Struhal is new to racing, which I think he might be, or at least new in touring cars...
He can't be. No, he's not. He's far from new to racing. Maybe new to these cars, that's beyond my knowledge, but he's far from new to sim racing. Which is why this is way more baffling. Anyhow,
It's on racing rule etiquette, though, to hold the brakes, though. Which doesn't make sense.
It is. It is.
Like,
it's
I'm guilty of it too.
Not even racing etiquette.
I'm guilty of it too, sometimes, of not holding the brakes, but even so, you need to do it to be cautious of other people. If you roll onto the track, you're unpredictable. There's like nothing that Mishakevich or Sorotka could have done in that moment.
Well, no, you cannot hold any brakes or any throttle or have any pedal inputs while you're spinning if you're in single player all alone, because then you cannot affect anyone. This is an online race. This is a championship with real people and real effects of you not following basic common sense, essentially. And Carl Suhal just demonstrated what happens when you don't follow that basic common sense. And unfortunately, one of the people affected is a championship contender, so, I mean, make it out what you will, really, for the people who are watching. I'm genuinely really frustrated with what I've seen, and I feel like the people affected are as well, and with every reason.
Oh.
Because that was just, as Tom Brunel demonstrates what a safe rejoin is from that point of the track. I'm sure he's carrying some heavy damage to his front left suspension, because I think that was the part of the car that Carl Suhal ended up hitting. But Michalkiewicz probably has some damage as well. Soroka would not be surprised if he has some damage as well. And what this has allowed really is for a massively spread out field, at least at this point of time, other than the seemingly closing in Marcin Morel on Alan Palmer, who's himself 6.5 seconds away from Dave Goodwin first. So again, just 14 minutes left. There's still 3/4 of the race left to go, just under. And Dave Goodwin already has a 7-second gap on P2. I do feel like had Carl Suhal been more cautious, again, with all due respect to him, this could have been a way closer and way more entertaining race.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
No point crying over spilled milk.
That's true. Accidents like these do happen, and I don't know Carl in all due respect in a personal sense, but I don't think none of this is like ever intentional, and I think yeah, it's fair enough. You're all right though, saying this has had dire effects. 7 seconds between Goodway and Palmer. I think it was already a bit like that from the start, but with Brunel being in second or third, that definitely impacted it. And then 4 seconds, 2 seconds, yeah, you can almost feel the lasting effects that it's had. And Sorotka and Dubrovnik now in a battle for P4. Dubrovnik loses almost just a bit, has to be under pressure from Sorotka for P4. On the exit, you can see the cone has been swiftly deleted in terms of its standing free will.
Rest in peace, cone.
Rest in peace, cone. Second sector upcoming, bit heavier on the braking. Dubrovnik goes, yeah, he just uses way too much track again. Over. And Sorotka will happily make the overtake before the braking zone into the corner. And off he will sail away in his little beamer. And up into fourth it will be for himself. Marcel Morel and Palmer is just slowly catching up through on second place. And you can see that Michelle Kevich is going to try to eye for a Dubrovnik overtake for P5 as well. No other accidents, at least from what I could see. Actually, Morel and Palmer getting ever so slightly closer, so Morel, I think, has going to finish on the podium in every single race this time around, which is going to be pretty impressive. The lowest he's finished is second, right? Race 1.
In this round, yes. Race 1 he got second, race 2 he got first. And obviously, if it ends as is right now, he would be on the podium in all 3 races, which will be the first round this season he's done that. And he looks to be very comfortable on the podium as it stands. It's just a question of whether he'll be second or third, and he's on the outside here of Alan Palmer. So he's taking the...
Oh my god.
No. I was going to say that he's going to be taking the harder line, but no, he's made that overtake wonderfully so. And Marcin Morel up into second place.
You see how close he was
Although
to...
Alan Palmer's not far from him still. He's not lost that much time.
I'm honestly amazed just how close Morel was against Palmer's front bumper. Really?
On the edge of the turn, yes.
Yeah, that was so close. I almost thought there was going to be another collision, some twice in between Goodway and someone's off. Oh no! That is Brunel.
Oh, he's lost a tyre. What's happened to Tom Brunel here?
Oh boy, that's very, very unfortunate there.
That's end of the race for him.
That is.
Drobnik has been overtaken by Monkevich.
So this is the replay that we're
surely
looking ahead.
Contact. He just lost it.
That
did not look like that hard of a shot for him to lose this front right wheel.
I agree.
That was a crash at 60 kilometers an hour, and he managed to lose his front right wheel. I feel like that's just R-Factor 2 physics getting the better of Tom Brunel there, because I've never seen a car crash at 60 kilometers an hour causing a wheel to pop off in this game before. This is the overtake on by Michalkiewicz on Drobnik, and Drobnik made it better.
Yeah.
Or was this the overtake?
No, it was just going off track.
Ah. I mean, after Drobnik had been overtaken with Michalkiewicz, at which point it was right after we went into replays. This is Carl Seehal. He's almost kept it out of the Armco.
Almost.
Alright, well, we're down to 7 people now. We're just over 8.5 minutes left. And all seems, oh well, actually I can't say all seems fairly quiet, as Sergei Soroka is now half a second behind Alan Palmer for P3. Although David Michalkiewicz is far from Sergei Soroka down to P5. So I don't think that Michalkiewicz will be any higher than P5 unless he somehow manages to pull out 8 minutes of flawless driving and catch Palmer and potentially Soroka. Which, again, I just don't see happening, unfortunately, for Michalkiewicz here. Michalkiewicz's rival, though, I mean, Dave Goodway, obviously helped by the fact of everything that happened in lap 1, as Sergei Soroka makes his way past Alan Palmer. Oh, well, not quite just yet. They're still alongside, as Palmer brakes earlier. He's done now. Alan Palmer brakes earlier for the long right-hander of the final turn, and Sergei Soroka takes P3 as easy as 1, 2, 3. As there's Artur Drobnik, who I'm not quite sure what we're looking at, as I was going to be talking about Dave Goodway, who obviously helped by everything that happened in lap 1, but I mean, to have an 11-second gap over your nearest potential competitor on track right now. Battle for first. There's no battle here. The only battle Dave Goodway could possibly have is with himself. I think if it ends as is right now, this would be the biggest gap that a race was won with this season. I could be wrong.
Morrow can definitely close it.
He can close it, but he's got 6.5 seconds, 6.5 minutes to close a 10-second gap, or well, 11-second gap.
Did you say 6.5 minutes?
Well, yes, because it was 6.5 minutes at the time of me starting that sentence.
Oh, I thought you meant the gap was 6.5 minutes.
No, this is not the North Rifle.
Not yet.
No, yeah. Last time I checked, I don't think the North Rifle was in the USA.
You could be going to Virginia International Raceway.
Oh, I would have loved to see that, honestly. Is there even a
Yeah, there is.
There's a VIR mod for an rFactor 2?
Yeah, there's two. There's one free and there's one paid.
Why have I not known this? I need to get on it.
Do you want me to send it to you?
And we'll have a race first to commentate on.
Sure.
In 5.5 minutes we can. Or we'll just over it.
I didn't realise you liked Virginia that much. I hate it.
It's a nice track. It's a nice track. I quite like it. I think it really does depend how much you enjoy a certain track with which cars you try to take it on with. For example, you wouldn't appreciate something like Norris Ring if you tried it with touring cars, or if you tried it with F1 cars. It's just not the same feeling. Same thing with something like Virginia International Raceway. It really does depend what car you try to take on the track in question, and that's going to result in how much you like that track. Again, not every track is made to fit every series. For example, Mandalika suits MotoGP quite a lot, but if you try to put open wheelers around it, it just won't work because it's not wide enough for most of them.
Really? Where?
Oh, well, have you tried Mandalika and open wheelers? Something like Formula 1 or IndyCar?
I think the ones that come to mind is like Lusail, I think.
That actually is a very valid track to bring up for that argument, because I personally don't enjoy the Qatari Grand Prix for F1, but I do think the MotoGP races are cool, quite enjoyable. Was the Qatari Grand Prix in when it was on, was it November? I think it was late November when the Qatari Grand Prix F1 was on. I watched it on TV and I fell asleep like 5 laps in. So I think that tells you everything.
Just needs to be. It's a track clearly designed for MotoGP that is trying to fit F1, and it's far too narrow to allow for cars as big as F1 to race on. It's like if we put bloody Chang.
In the same case would be for Mandalika if Mandalika for some reason got added to Formula 1.
HME, you heard it from us here first. Bid Mandalika for the Indonesian Grand Prix. We need you. Come back.
Don't do that.
Up to 3 minutes left to go. Mishalkiewicz and Palmer, and a battle between Sorotka and Morrow still available on the cards. I think Mishalkiewicz and Palmer will be in slightly easy in that case. Nothing less can be said about Morrow and Sorotka. These two are about approximately around the same distance in terms of battling, so I think we could definitely see it come ahead. Although, won't really be an easy and done case though. Palmer has definitely dropped since starting in second. This corner, he's been overtaken twice. Once by Morrow and another by Sorotka. Is Mishalkiewicz going to make it 3 in a row here? He's not. He's just going to stay behind. but this one is where it truly cements. So, depends how late on the brakes that Michalkiewicz can go. And no, Palmer has actually done very good to defend against Michalkiewicz. Out on exit.
Oh well, no, I do. The way it looked like
side
to
by
me,
side here, side by side here for the podium between Morel and Sorotka. Super close. Sorotka has to end up taking the grass just a little bit as Morel holds on to second for the time being. As further on down back, Alan Palmer and Michalkiewicz still battling. So 3 battles going on in the closing stages of the race. I just want to see, still seem to going on here. Oh, Glevich navigating through the second sector. He's utilised as much of the track as he possibly can against Palmer. As utilising a wider line means that he could gain more speed, which is what he's eyeing for. As you can see, the gap has just been extended a little bit. I think he's trying to use that so he can capitalise on the slipstream at the start-finish straight to his fullest advantage. But that's going to depend how well he takes the final corner very well. As speaking of final corners very well, look at Sorotka going around for the final corner, side by side between these two, between Morel and Sorotka, two of the standout drivers of this round, and they're going to battle out here for P2. Who can come out on top? Can Morel still manage to retain his best second place here as he commits down to the inside, and he'll take second place still. Sorotka a little bit onto the grass once again.
Alan Palmer still kept P4. Michalkiewicz seems to have dropped up actually compared to Alan Palmer, and he's gone on the grass there, which means Michalkiewicz will have even bigger gap to make up on. This will be the final lap actually, because there's only 10 seconds left, and Dave Goodway, I don't think he's anywhere, he's nowhere close to crossing the line yet, which means once he does do that, he will be the victor of race 3 here in round 5 at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Dave Goodway around the final corner. And hopefully it does that fast so we can go back to the battles going around the track, which seems to be just one now. As we see that it's Carl Suchal in the distance, and that's the checkered flag waving. Dave Goodway crossed the line to win the race, and we turn our attention back to Martin Morel and Sergei Soroka. Sergei Soroka is very close, he's very close, but I don't think it will be enough. He's going to have the slipstream here, down the long straight, and I think Martin Morel will be able to keep P2, maybe not. Sergei Soroka alongside, and again Soroka beaten out by a Speed Eagle Sky. He got done by David Michalkiewicz in race 1 in a sort of drag race. That time it was for P3, I think it was. This time it was for P2 by Martin Morel. Michalkiewicz himself not being able to overtake Alan Palmer there.
And more importantly, Goodway keeps the championship going to the final round in Long Beach. So the gap has not been... I don't actually... Ooh. Has it? Because he retired in race 2. We'll do our calculations.
The calculators for that.
we'll do.
Because, P8 would still get him points. It would, however, get him... How many points? Let's check. 4. 4 of them.
You say Florida?
Yeah, he's getting Florida points.
Amazing. Final race results then for race 3, and it's the final one here for coverage of the Touring Car Classic. Dave Goodway, another race win added to his books, and really seems to be at home with the Nissan, relatively unchallenged from start to finish here at race 3. Marcel Morel managed to just about beat Sergei Soroka to the line to hold on to second place. So a first and a second, by far been Marcel Morel's best round yet, with Sergei Soroka complete over through to the podium places. Pretty good from the Ukrainian that managed to win in race 1. Alan Palmer did all he can and just miss out on the podium with the overtakes by Morel and Soroka, but he did manage to fend off Michalkiewicz at the very end to still hold on to 4th, with David in 5th, Offer to Brotnik in 6th, with Carl Struhal. A bit of a race to forget for him, but the Medell driver still will score for in 7th, and Tom Brunel impressively manages to lose a wheel in a 60-kilometer-an-hour crash.
Again, I don't know how you do that, but this was a very of a wild race 3, quite honestly. We had whatever that was on lap 1, and when we had good battles for P2 and P4 on the last lap, and we had Tom Brunel being done in by rFactor 2 physics. There's no nicer way to put it. He was done in. And I think it'll be interesting to see. Do we have time for interviews tonight? Because I think it would be interesting to see whether anyone would like an interview. If we have time for those, obviously. Ami, are you with us?
Sorry, my bad.
There we go.
Yeah. Just I was told. Yeah. Let's check if anyone wants to do an interview.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple of minutes to say whether they want to have an interview or not. And if there's no people interested, then, well, it is what it is, really.
Yeah, that's really. I want to check for the chat if anyone else has got anything more to say. Yeah. This has honestly been fun. I won't lie. It's been a great,
Yeah.
great season of coverage. I think. I honestly thought Michal Klevich was really going to clinch the championship at the end of at the end of race one. I thought he was going to clinch it like a race in advance. To be honest, I think the fact that he hasn't clinched it yet is kind of a testament to show how strong the grid has certainly been here in the World Tour, and yeah,
I agree. You know, we do see quite frequently that there's bigger gaps between the, you know, obvious contenders for the championship, the fast guys and the sort of mid-pack guys. But that doesn't mean that the grid overall isn't strong, because we do see a lot of battles happening all over the grid, every single race really. And again, as you said, the fact that David Halkevich still has not clinched the title, at least as of currently, because I don't think the points have been calculated yet for New Jersey. But as it stands, Mihalkevich still hasn't clinched the title, and I think that's just indicative of how fun and how competitive this championship is. And I think it'll be interesting to see how long range goes.
he finished second. Was it second, third, and fourth, I believe. So
I think he
he's
was. Was he not second in race 2?
so, so David was third. He was third, and then he was. I will do this the old manual way.
The old-fashioned way. The way we did our race starts as well. No electronics, just drop the flag. And off you go.
Third, second, and fourth. Wait, was it fourth? No, it was fifth. Because he
It was
messed.
5th this race.
It was fifth, yeah. Second, third, second, fifth. And that was against Goodway, who finished D and F, or was it eighth? He finished eighth. I don't know if they DNF will not count, so we'll do our calculations in our quick heads.
Let me bring out my Casio calculator. Not an ad, by the way.
Goodway finished fifth, so fifth. Let's just say a DNF as a worst case scenario, and then first as well. Actually, you know
You
what?
calculate.
I think Marcel Morel is now second now
Is he?
because he finished second for second.
Oh yeah. Now it's
He's
Martin. Okay, so we have three.
he's outscored Goodway because Goodway finished fifth and a DNF when he scored
And
second
first.
and first, yeah. So Morel is the one that keeps the championship alive against Michel
Oh well,
Krevich.
no. Good. Is Goodway still in with a chance of winning?
I think he could
What would
still
be the
be.
gap? What would be the gap between Michalkiewicz and Goodway? If it's 75 or more, then actually no. If it's more than 75, then Goodway can't win. Although I think
8 plus 15
how many wins
plus
is
8, 5 points gives you 10, right? Or fifth place gives you 10 points, right? 25,
fifth
18,
place gives
15,
you 10.
12, 10, yeah. So he's got
Well, no, because
43. So he's
yeah,
got
well, Michalkiewicz has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
43.
6 wins. Michalkiewicz has 6 wins, and Goodway has 2 as it stands. Even if he wins all 3 races at Long Beach, and for some unexplicable reason Michalkiewicz doesn't win anything, he would still only have 5 wins, so Michalkiewicz would win on count back on the kind of how many races he's won. So if
10
Goodway is
plus 0
75
plus
or more,
25. Okay,
I
so
say,
Michel Klevich does outscore Goodway by about 2 points.
ah,
No, he doesn't. He actually he outscores him more actually. It's 35 to 43. So that's good. So that's Goodway to Michel Klevich. So 35 plus 161. That's 196 for Goodway.
so
Wait,
that is
196 minus 270 or sorry, 270 minus 196. 74. He's out of contention. Oh no, he's
oh
within
no, he's not.
contention by 1 point.
He's
He's within contention by
he's
1
just
point.
barely.
Just
He's just barely in it. He's by the skin of his teeth in it.
and
But what he would need, what Dave Goodway would need at Long Beach is for David Michalkiewicz to not show up, and then he would need to win all 3 races. Otherwise, he's not gonna win it. So now it's gonna be Marcin Morel and David Michalkiewicz for the title.
yeah, so Morel got 61 and that plus his 160
Is 221.
yeah, 221.
So he is
50 no,
say
49 points.
49 points behind David. Which means he would need to
Win twice.
if David win twice if David were not to show up.
Pretty much.
And that's a big if. That's a big if. Because
In fact,
David's not messed around this season. He's one of 3 people who have not
he has to
messed
finish
around.
like at
Actually, no,
least
sorry.
second twice. Oh no, thrice. If he
Yeah.
finishes second 3 times, he would also
Much to think about here. Much to think about, but we also need to see whether there will be any reports and whether there will be any penalties that could affect race results. Because again, we've not had any reports this season so far, but I think we've seen definitely some strong contenders for reports this round, unfortunately. So that'll be remain to be seen as well.
First, third, and third for Soroka as well. I'll just calculate his for a giggle. He got 55 points, so 55 plus.
I think Soroka can at most get third at this point.
He's got 171
Same with
points.
Paparanopoulos.
Sorotka. Okay, so thanks to our trusty calculations from the estimate that we've had, Michal Klevich still holds on to the lead by 270 points now. Now, at the end of this, it is Morrill that overtakes Goodway, and he's now the closest contender that he's got now. He's currently on 221 points.
21.
Yep. Dave Goodway
Yep.
is as a result of that crash means that he's now third with 196, and Sorotka is up to 171 points, so he overtakes Papadopoulos for fourth in the championship. So that's how the things have completely shaked up from this round alone, which is quite interesting to think about.
Absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see how New Jersey goes. Because we mentioned
Long Beach.
Mihalkiewicz obviously would need to completely miss Long Beach for Dave would have any chance of winning. Martin Morrill, if Mihalkiewicz would not show up, would need to win twice at the very least, or finish third thrice. Soroka can't finish above third, I think. The same applies to Paparinopoulos. So technically speaking, there's a three-way fight for first, but there's also a four-way fight for third. Oh well, no, there's a three-way fight for second maybe, and a three-way fight for third, and a three-way fight for first. It's basically if any one of them does well enough, they can gain up to 3 positions.
Yeah, pretty much. I think if Papadopoulos and Soroka do attend for the final round, then it will make Goodway and Morrow's chances to not only like battle themselves but even retain their positions a bit more harder. And again, all it takes is just one good day. And if Papadopoulos and Soroka do attend, I think that's going to make it much easier for Michal Klevich to clinch the championship. But if Papadopoulos and Soroka are not there, and as you said, Michal Klevich does not turn up, then it leaves it completely open for.
Gure has only one job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodway has one job.
Again, these are all big ifs.
Yeah.
Gure has
has
only one job.
He has to win all of them. He has to win all of them and hope for Morrill to score at least not as much as him. Like how much is the points difference between these two again? Goodway 196.
David is on 270. Goodway is on 196. Martin is on 221.
221 minus 196. It's about 25. So he needs to be like he has to have a win over basically. He needs to try and find like a win's worth over Morrill to clinch the championship as well. Yeah. On top of hoping that Michal Klevich does not turn up in the final round. So again, so many ifs, and even if Klevich does attend, don't forget the final round that we're going to Long Beach. It is such an unforgiving street circuit. The walls are so close, such limited curbs. There's really no room for error come Long Beach, and
there's a fountain.
The fountain, the elevation changes, the very long straight ahead by a very, very tough braking zone down into turn one, the hairpin coming around for the final corner. There's so many elements about Long Beach that is truly going to make it a very interesting finale here.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, I don't think we'll be hearing anyone tonight. So hopefully, if there is a replacement found for us for Long Beach, they get to speak with the drivers and get their opinions out through Long Beach and the season. But yeah, it seems like there's only one thing left for us to do as well, and that's to close out tonight's stream.
Any closing thoughts though?
Yes, actually. I'm quite sad that I missed so much of the championship. I missed 2 rounds. which is a further championship. But the time I spent here, I enjoyed so much, and I can only wish, the best for everyone at Long Beach. It'll be a shame for me personally to not be there. Uh, I I don't know really what else to say other than I enjoyed my time here in FRL so much with the Touring Car Classics. I'm excited to see what other series are prepared through 2026 for rFactor 2. I heard something is being in the works, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Although, if it's more touring cars, I wouldn't complain, especially if I would also be available to commentate on it.
Thank you all very much
But
to. Thank you very much, Lorenzo,
no, you go
for
ahead.
honestly the time that you've taken to uh, commentate. It's an absolute pleasure to always have you commenting here in this series. Such great fun I've always had with you, to be honest. So, massive thanks to you.
Yeah. Thank you as well, because this wouldn't have been possible without you. I was the one who approached you on whether you would be interested in commentating here. And had you said no, none of this would have been possible. So, in a way, you are also very much responsible for the joy you've brought to us too, and to everyone who's watched, and to FRL. And I would like to say again, thank you as well to FRL for allowing us this opportunity to broadcast this wonderful championship to everyone. And obviously, a thank you to everyone who's watched as well, because, I mean, where would be the joy without people watching? Oh well, there will still be joy, just, it's nice to have people observing such interesting races, one could say.
Thank you all very much for tuning in to the FRL Touring Car Classic. The other championships, they're still going to go on broadcast as per scheduled. The Masters of the ACC, the Masters of the LMU. Taco Tuesday still on live if you want to tune yourself into that. Thank you all very much to all the viewers that have tuned in through our coverage of the Touring Car Classic from Lime Rock all the way to New Jersey. I thank you all so much. And thanks as well to Tom for encouraging both Lorenzo and I to do this streaming and hold coverage of your fantastic Touring Car Classic World Tour. One final round left to go. It is the streets of Long Beach. California hosts the final round of the championship, and still the championship is still undecided. Michel Klevich's lead has been cut down just a little bit. Morrill finally got his well-deserved race win. Sorotka manages to return and gets himself a race win, and Goodway's championship pursuit seems to be a bit of hold. We'll see who can come out on top, not just for the lead, but who will get second, third, and fourth, and still a lot of positions up for grabs further down the field as well. Time will tell to see who will come victorious in Long Beach, but until then, thank you all very much for watching, and it's goodbye from